So then, hello everybody, welcome back to Planet Minecraft today, where I have done quite a few updates to the theatre since last time. Yes, I've been spending quite a time off camera trying to sort out some of the interior. Well, a lot of the interior, just not the main lobby area out here, see. No, this bit still needs sorting out, which I will do as soon as I can. Or as soon as I can be bothered, really, but I already kind of know what to do out here, and that shouldn't take long at all. So, let's just get into the bits that I've completed then. So here we go. So if I go outside, you can just see here, well now the roof is completely, sorry, oh my god, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons here. That's it. As you can see, the roof is now completely filled in. I think I've brought all the spots, even though it's now completely difficult to actually see if there is an open gap, but I believe they're all in. And I also have now fitted a lot of the interior, basically where that's underneath this black roof. And let's go and show it. Well, let's go from the back of the stage to the main auditorium bit where all the seats are. So let's go. This is the stage door where you have a little reception desk here and a computer where people can check you in. And then here we go to the actual back stage area. So here we go. We have like a little, well, that's meant to be like a mirror or something like so that you can actually sit here, like get yourself prepared. You know, get some of your last bits and makeup ready for any performances. Got like just a little sofa here, and that's just meant to be like a screen where you can either watch like the current show going on, like you can have like maybe let's say there's like a camera recording the show, you can watch it backstage, just know how it's all going, or you can just put that on as like watching some general TV or so, either between shows or between shows or during them. It's your choice. Got a couple of bookshelves everywhere. We've got a couple more seats here. Over here we have like just a little storage where we've got some of the props which can be stacked up and stacked down. As you may just keep some of the main props. Here we have the changing rooms. Here, so we can know boys and girls, currently not labelled, but that's fine. And we have a computer here that you can help control some of the sets and do some like bookings and that, I don't know, like any props and that you need. Then we have we're into the wings now. On this side, we've got a storage facility with some chests, some seats, and a couple more computers to help with just the running of the building. To the other side, we have the toilets. You can see here a nice sink, a couple of cubicles right here, and we have a couple more seats, a couple more storage, and we actually have a desk here for where. I don't know what this will become. It could either be the director's desk, the technical director's desk, not test. Yeah, we've got a couple of these desks around the place. Got an outstand right there. Got a couple of bits over there. I'll show you that bit in a minute. That's where we go to the main stage. Go back in here. This is the actual main technical, I'll call that the technical bridge or so. Got all the redstone that is for most of all the light in the stage. You can see up here, you can see it's all open, and I like the fact that it's all open. I think it does have to look very nice. You can see you can go either way. See, it's all protected off by the glass. Also, it actually exposed the mechanism to actually turn on the stage. And if you remember last episode, I actually had a switch back here where you can open and close the stage backstage, but now I've changed that. So we just have a couple of big lights near just to line up the place, because of course when these are off, because of the black roof, it does get very dark here very quickly. So as well as up here, we also have a couple more storage facilities, just a couple of bookcases around there, just add a bit of detail there, and we have a couple more desks. We have just a little desk over here, and we have two little desks over here with computers and that, so that just people can just work on these, you know, as they please. So I might put on the signs on the signs later on about whose desk it might be. And also secretly we'll just put a couple of little mini toilets or so in the back, even though that is just a toilet and there's no sink around here. I'll just recommend you to use the main one over there. or even go and use the actual the public or the main one actually in the building when that gets built over there, because that'll be quite a bit bigger. So that is pretty much all the areas in the back of the stage. Now let's go to the front, or actually to the stage. You go in here. There's two ways onto the stage. This is the main entrance of the stage, which also will be there when the curtain is closed. Or you can go in here into the front of the curtain. So either or for whatever type of performance you need. And here we are. This is the main stage. We also have the lights here. So these ones are on, of course, when the curtain's open. This one turns on when the curtain's closed, just to help you put bits out when you're trying to change out a scene. You have the curtain here. We've got a couple more stage lights. These controlled actually behind these lights here and this light here. They're the only lights that are actually controlled behind the stage. The rest are all controlled by a box over there, which is the main auditorium area. This is it. As you can see, it's just it's all elevated seating arrangements using MineCRAFT. So I love how these look. You can see them anywhere. So yeah, I do actually like how you can just, you know, sit in here and watch the show like basically like any other normal theatre or auditorium like that. And I like how it bends in a sense slightly with the curvature of the stage, or the slight curvature of the stage. So I like that, and of course I like that pretty much anyway you sit, even the ones where the glass kind of is technically in the way, you can still see the stage almost perfectly, which I really like that. So I do find that a really good feature. So yeah, I do like that. So we have all the main seating areas here. We've got different, of course, light zones with the red, blue, and the green. You can probably guess which will have the higher price in tickets. Well, the green zone, and probably the best seats in the house. Probably this one. I'd say is the best seat in the house. Either that one, or maybe one of these. Maybe not that one. Probably that one, maybe. But between probably these two, I'd say the best seats in the house. You can pretty much just sit here and watch the whole show. But then, yeah, that's all good. So that's all that, and now it's to the main bit, which last time I struggled with, which in the end did end up with a bit of a building that I didn't fully like because I didn't really plan it. But this one I have actually done quite a bit of planning. But I still feel like I should have done a bit more planning by actually trying to make up a mock-up building, which in a couple of future builds I might do. So let's try and go through some of the lighting then. So of course you can remember last time, of course this was the light that we're going to put out to indicate when the show's about to start, or yeah, basically it's like a show indicator start light. And of course we have some general stage lights here to help make it, just to help light up the stage during the performance. Of course, I remember we had all the original actual stage light spotlights all across the top here, like they actually do in theatres, and they were quite hard to. They were originally quite hard to actually activate because, of course, some of the control switches are in this corner and the others were in this corner. But now what I've done is I've put them, made sure that this time they're all in this central control booth. And as you can see here, we have all the different switches for the different lights. But as well as the switches, we also have the auditorium lights, and we also have the curtain. Give it a sec. There we go. So we can even control all everything around here in just this single booth. So that means, of course, we have a show on, just have a single person up here controlling everything, or most things. I could, of course, it would be good if we can put all the rest lights here, like those three lights at the bottom and that central top light at the top. But with this scale, I was still running out of space. It's a bit harder, so I'm just leaving those ones at the back for now. Of course, we've got a couple of jukeboxes here, and then we have the main light. So we have the general spotlight. The general spotlight, which is there, and have all the rest of them. We've got the two end lights, or two corner lights, I should say. There we go, two corner lights. Then I think this does the next set. Actually, no, this doesn't do the next set. That does the next little mini set. You do the same on the other side. And you can do these two. Like so, and now the two switches, there's two left. Actually, no. My point, there's only one left, and this one actually does two sets. Are actually in different spaces. There's these too many ones here. That was a bit annoying to actually wire. So now we'll actually in a minute try and show you some of the wiring as the best I can. Hang on, I'm trying to. There you are, that's the wiring. That's the wiring to all the lights, and just use a lot repeated in different patterns with redstone torch towers to help, well, take you up everywhere. And that's the same for all the central lights in it as well, for the main auditorium. There we go. We have just a general little light here for the control booth, you know, during the performance, so they can actually see what they're doing, and it only lights up the control booth. Of course, then of course we have just the main stage lights here. I will be honest, a slight design flaw is that, especially if I have the bottom stage lights off, like so. Also turn that off, I don't need that one on now. If I turn that off and I still open the curtains up when it activates the other stage lights, the ones at the back, if I show you, if I now open the curtains and wait for them to open, oh no. Why are they still powered? Hang on a minute, or is that... I tested this before. Don't tell me that one of these needs to be on. Hang on. That's it. That's what's that was the problem. I accidentally locked the circuit. Oh, panic over. Right, panic over. Right, yep, they've opened. And right, back to what I was saying. Actually, with a slight design flaw, even though all the central stage lights are on, it doesn't really light up the stage properly, and that's just basically, well, partly just due to two reasons: the design of the build and just the general way that, well, lighting works in Minecraft. Because of course you can't actually just direct a light in Minecraft like a spotlight or so, as you would find in a theatre. So they just light up the area just literally around it, and then I'm guessing it's something like a 5-block radius around the light or so. And with the design it is, they're basically still too far from the stage to actually light it up. So no matter what, really, these don't really do any effect. So basically, to get a good actually light on the stage, you need to have these 3 stage lights on. So that is a design flaw with the stage, but I'm gonna live with it, because especially I've already been starting to design a new version for the theatre, because of course I did explain that of course this was the first build I wanted to do, because in the end, I don't know if I said it in the original video when we originally built this before the world got lost, that the reason I think I wanted to build it is because this was one of the first things I actually originally did build in when I first got the proper full edition in Xbox. I built some form of theatre like this with that kind of stage design with the curtain, and I wanted to do something very similar to that, because I originally did something like that over 5-6 years ago at least. So that was that. So that's why I want to do that, but I suppose what I want to do first, before I carry on out here, is to show you the current designs for the, well, at least the new stage. That's what I want to do, because even though I think that build is a bit far off before I do it, because I don't want just to build this theatre and build a new theatre then forget about this one, because I do really like this one, especially, you know, the seating room and the lighting booth, even though it don't make that much difference, but Let's very quickly just turn all the state lights off and put the essential lights on. There we go. The state lights are off. It's all off. And technically I'll turn these ones off, and also I have these little lights on the side here just to help lighten up the place. So I can do those ones. I can go over here and I'll just turn that off for now. There we go. So, yep, that's that. Of course, this area is all quite dark, and of course, most of the area here is now nice and lit up, except of course the seats down here. That's why I usually I've decided to fit these in just to help a bit better when you're trying to sit down there. Again, of course, these are all little things I would love to try and work out in the future, or even might just do bits in the end, because technically this build's not finished, because I still need to do bits out here, which I'm not going to do in this episode, but I'm going to do just between episodes. Same, quite a few of these Planet Minecraft videos at the moment are just update videos, so that's just the easiest videos I can do at the moment. So we've got them. Well, that's pretty much it at the moment. So what I want to do now before we end out the video is I'm going to pop into my new testing world, because we all deleted home, and I want to quickly show you the current designs I have for the new stage that will make, when we do the proper theatre, the proper big theatre, with probably a lot more seats and a lot more better lighting than that, I'd say we'll make it a lot better. So let's just pop into that world. Alright then, so here we are in my new testing world. So what we have here was technically my first attempt at trying to figure out how to do a new stage design, because I wanted to I had the idea of using the concrete pad and trying to using something like a concrete door. So basically, I'm not just limited to using excuse me, something in my throat. Not limited to just using 2 eye blocks, and then it's basically just a piston pulling one set up and the other set down. I didn't want to do that, because that's the reason why the current stage in this theatre is only too high, because that's the system I've used. So then I had the idea of trying to use some concrete powder and trying to do it where you can actually just let it. Basically, if I simulate it towards concrete powder falls, so you can basically just have some nice pistons. These try and also basically get a piston here. Get a oops, I didn't mean to click that. Get a lever here. And my original idea was trying to do something like this. So let's just say that's the stage in its up position. So it's up, and let's say that's the actual stage floor there. My idea was to basically try and do it like some sort of like storage tape. So of course you use a piston to let the sand fall like that. Like so. It came down, but then of course you need to get it back up, it's fairly easy to get the stuff down, but to get it back up it gets a bit hard, because of course you need to introduce a second piston to actually push it up, to push the block, as they say, back up. And also in that you need to introduce so many different other pistons basically to push. As I said, because if I now lower this, to push the new block up. And I do consider myself fairly good at redstone, but as you can see, not that good, because bits just like that happen. So I tried a little experiment, but then I just got quite stumped, and then I started to try and do a couple of different things. So then I tried to figure out how to do just a general 3 piston extender, and this was my first attempt. This was literally just completely on my own, my first attempt. As you can see, I keep getting the extension good, but I was always a bit puzzled with the retraction. As you can see, I got quite good, but then basically I just need to get it so that these fire again, and I bet maybe I could get it to work again. if that was fitted in. Well, actually no, that's what I did. I did something like that, but then I got confused because of course I need to create like a one-tick pulse, don't I, just to flick it back up and flick them back down again, which I didn't really know how to do. Well, I think you can do it with, I know you can't do it with observers, so maybe, I don't know if I try something like, oh yeah, that's how you do it. So that is technically how, that is actually a working 3-piston extender then. It was. And now that's broken. Okay, now, so. Okay, the extension works. Yeah, it's not that reliable, as you can tell. This method, it don't really always work. So what I did is then I started trying to do a bit of some experiments, trying to actually work out how a 3-piston extender works. So then of course I went, well of course you have to do of course extend the bottom piston, then extend the second one, then extend the top one. That's the simple, of course, that's the simple extension. But then to retract, of course you've got to do the top one, let that retract, then let the second one retract, but then you let the bottom one retract, but then you've got to do a one-tick pulse, or basically just, actually not one-tick pulse, just like the second one retract again, second one extend then retract, so I just pull the third one down. So that was that. So, but then, so I started to do a bit of research on YouTube, and then I actually found a design that seemed to work, and then I built it. Not this one, this one. I built it. So I will very quickly just disable something else at the moment, and I'll show you what happened, because this bit I've had top is something I've added second. If I pull it, it extends. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. As you can see, it extends, and then when you turn it off, it drops down. So that was that. Then, of course, by working at the design, I found out that it works by basically using the one-tick pulse reserve to bring the last ones down, and just use the same method here with the torch tower to initially fire each of the pistons upwards. So that's what it was, and also because of how this works, I realised with just a general pulse on a redstone piece, you can travel to 15 blocks. So that means I made a design that works with a stage that was 30 wide, like this one here. So what I did is I decided just to rebuild this using a 30 wide system by basically building 2 of these 15 wide and building these modules at each side mirrored. Tested it, and it worked. And then basically we had a 3 wide system. But I didn't want a free high. I didn't really want a free high. Excuse me. Just a free high stage, because it's only one. It is well, as you can, if you do math, it's only going to be one higher than the original, than the 2 high one. And I felt like, well, that's not going to be that good, especially if I want to build a lot bigger place with it. So I went, nah, it's not really going to work. Well, I don't see how it works. And then I tried to see if I could turn the 3-piston extender using the same kind of design into a 5-piston extender. So basically we could have at least a 5 high stage. So that was something more like what I wanted. So I tried, I managed to get the retraction to, I managed to get the extension to work, but I was spending hours yesterday and I could not get the retraction to work. So the extension works, but I cannot get the retraction to work. And I kept trying many methods, trying with this design, and I was just saying that I don't fully know the actual logistics of how this all works, something like without the different pulses and that, because in the end, of course, a lot of these bits of redstone actually I don't fully know how to use, and also a lot of the people that I've watched using this stuff they've used the Java edition, and the actual there are slight differences with components between the different versions of Minecraft. So you know, you can watch something on somebody creating a video, the redstone come out on the Java edition, but then it can work differently on here. But luckily, with the extent with this, like this extender, it works on all. I believe it said it works on all editions. So that was that. So when I did that, I kind of actually, well, I thought that was it. I thought that was, at the moment, that was all I could do. But then I had the idea of using just another piston extender going down to help create it, turn it into a 4 high stage, which is what happens here, and it worked. So then I had the top layer, and as you can see, if I now demonstrate using my big proper stage with the delay, this is what it would be. That is really cool. So that is now a 4 high stage, 30 wide. I believe it. That is longer than the one I've got at the moment, and there's so much more height. And also, the thing that with this design, because a lot of the redstone is now underneath, and it is still technically quite compact, because it is technically only 4 wide, and a lot of the actual redstone is just literally where the door sits, and these like lines which I will touch anyway. It means especially there's a lot of room back here, especially with how big I want the stage to be, to do quite a few more components, especially up top here. Because if you look back at the current one, there's a slight problem up top to actually where to put the redstone at the top to make the stage, to put the central stage lights on top, because there isn't really anywhere. That's why, if you looked, the stage lights are always at the corners here, and that's why it's not properly lit, because there's not enough space to actually do it. Because I do believe that the new stage that I built is it's not as wide. Well, I think it still is wide, but in actual, maybe the depth of it, you know, from the actual front stage to the wall of it, that's not as deep or as wide as you can say as the old one. So that's why I did struggle with the lights here. But with this design, I think it really worked. You can see the top retract, and then that opens, and then the stage lights come on, and then you can do your you can do your nice jokey routine and dance or whatever. And there's just so much more room to do stuff. The same, I think I would rather have this be a 5-eye wall, and maybe just using the piston VT or the piston extender, because then it means that actually the whole roof would just be able to put with redstone contractions, and I think I would love maybe a bit of a taller stage. So this is what I'm going to ask you: if any of you watching this kind of know play Minecraft and you're quite good at redstone and know how to do a good piston VT like that, and you kind of get what I mean, why not put a comment in the description? Maybe know some suggestions, and maybe a link to some different designs of how to create like a really good 5 block or 5 high vertical piston extender. Or at least maybe tell me what's wrong with that design over there, because I feel like with that would actually help me a lot of way trying to help with this future project. But I've gone on for far too long now, guys, so that's what I'm going to do. So for now, guys, as I'm going to say, I am going to leave this video here. So all I want to say now is a big thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm now going to go back to the Planet MineCRAFT and do the rest of the interior, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now, guys. Take care.